Here today, took my air conditioning pump off. I hated to lose it, but I got plans on putting alternators there. Today I'm going to work on making brackets for one. Wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, but I'm working on it. So what I decided to do was make a plan on a bracket. The bracket is just going to be made out of a piece of aluminum plate, 3/4 inches thick. I'm going to cut, mill, and drill to mount this second alternator onto my truck. Over here, as you can see, I got my saw set up. I got to make two cuts. I got to cut the length down, and I got to cut the width of the bracket that I'm wanting to do. So while that's cutting, I thought I'd do a quick little video of making an alternator bracket, which I will come back to in a little while after that's cut. And I set it up in the mill over on this one and cut it out. And then once it's cut out, I'm going to drill the holes that are needed and hopefully mount it up and see if everything lines up the way that I'm hoping it will. If not, then I'll recalculate what I'm thinking about doing. But this is for my truck that all of you have seen. Part of Team Aftermath. That's Wicked Customs up in Lido, Ohio. So that's that for the moment, and when I get it done, hopefully it works. Alright, thank you. Here I am working on my alternator bracket. Just wanted to show you guys where I was at. Right now I'm in front of my drill press drilling. I've drilled the mounting points already, and now I'm drilling the mounting point for the alternator. And what you're looking at is I'm going to bore down through here. Okay, and then once I'm done boring down through there, I'm going to notch this out through here in two different places. What that's going to allow me to do is set my alternator in place and run a bolt with a nut through that. Alright, I'll come back here in just a little bit for an update. Alright, I'm back at it today. As you can see, I've got this set up in my milling machine, and I am milling out the slot where the alternator will actually fit into there. You can see in there, you see the hole where the bolt will go through, and then there will be another slot where I'll use a nut on the back side of the bolt because I don't have the means of tapping the hole way down in there, so I'm going to have to bolt and nut it, and hopefully that'll work out fine. Alright, that's it for now. I'll get back on here and show you some video of the progress. Thank you. Alright, I'm back again. Just want to show an update. I'm not done, but you'll kind of get the picture of what I'm doing here. Trying to get a good picture of it here. As you can see, I'm just mocking up the alternator to get my spacing before I do all my final mill, because I like to be precise, and I want the thing just to be wide enough for the alternator, which I got another case front that I'm going to use. It'll be, both ends will be like that, and I forget what they call that mounting point, like 60 and 90 or something like that. But as you can see, I gotta go to the hardware and get some bolts, because believe it or not, I don't have bolts that'll fit in that. So I gotta bolt it down, because when I put a belt on it, it kind of tweaks it over and I can't get it set in place. So for now, you can kind of see where I'm at and where I'm headed, and then I still will have to make a bracket for back here where that sits. But like I said, the mounting point will be down there where the mounting holes are. So I'll make another bracket for that end of the alternator to mount. And so far it looks like I won't even have to buy a belt, believe it or not. So hopefully I don't, because I don't want to go through the painstaking figuring out what it's going to take. But I'll be back, and hopefully the bracket's completed, bolted down, the alternator's mounted in it, and functional. Alright, talk to you later. Okay, I'm back again. Like I said, I would show you the finished bracket. This is just the one bracket. As you can see, the alternator sits in there like that. It's all bolted up tight. Checked all the alignments of everything. It's perfect. So now all I gotta do is work on the bracket that'll go there to mount the other side of the alternator. So that's it for now. I'll be back in a little while. Okay, base heads. Starting on the other side of the alternator. I got a plate mounted in there right at the moment. It's actually going to get cut off right along that hose right there. I got it marked. That'll help hold that hose and whatnot in place since the factory bracket. I don't want to mess with that of mounting it back on there. So you can see I've got that part started. And dark in here. Okay. And I'm working on the other part right now. That will be a post that comes up for that side of the alternator to mount on, which I'll show you now. It's over in my mill. I've already cut it and drilled it. Now I'm milling it out. So as you can see, this is the other part. Like I said, this will stand up on that bracket, that plate that's already there, and this will hold the alternator. And how this will mount to that plate is once I have this actually mounted to the alternator and know exactly where it's going to sit on that plate. Should be where I want it, but you never know. Once I have that known, then I'll drill through that plate that's going to sit on, and then I'll drill through this block, and then I'll tap the holes in the block, and this will be screwed basically to that plate. And then that'll be the finished product of my alternator bracket that I'm only going to use for a short time, because my next project is going to be making a bracket for 2 alternators on that side. So in the end I'll have 3 alternators together. Okay, so I'll be back with an update when this piece is done. Alright, I'm back again to show you guys what I've got here. I've got it on the alternator. It's not completely done yet. I still got to bolt that part down to that plate, but as you can see, I'm trying to get a good view here how this is set up. But the alternator is on there and it's all bolted up. So this is my alternator bracket setup. Like I said, it's temporary until I build one for 2 alternators. But this way I will have at least 2 alternators on there. 2 250 amp dual rectifier alternators. What's cool about this is both alternators have 2 rectifiers. So that means each alternator has 12 70 amp diodes in it, which allows them to work a little more efficiently. Now the only place I know that does this is National Quick Start out of Michigan, which is, you know, where I got the first alternator, then I got the second alternator from a fellow on caraudio.com. So I'd show you this. This is what it will look like when it's done, other than this part of that plate being cut off. Then that'll be the finished product. So next I'll do a video of me beating on my truck and see if the voltage stays up a little longer this time. Alright, so you guys have a good day and I'll be back later. Alright, here we are again. This is the final finished product of my fabricated alternator bracket. Everything is mounted, screwed, and done. So there's where the factory alternator goes. Not factory, but that's where it goes. Secondary alternator. As you can see, alignment is like perfect. Looks great. So now all I gotta do is wire the alternator up and I'm done. So that's what I did on my spare time for an extra alternator. It will be up for sale when I build a dual alternator bracket. So if any of you people have a 96 through 2000 GM 5.7 or 5.0 Vortex engine in a truck, maybe a van, I'm not sure, this will be available if you wanted to go without your air conditioning. But hell, who am I kidding? Most air conditioners at them ages don't work anymore anyway. So that's it. Thank you.